Hey there, my dude, I'm glad you made it through. 'Cause some days are tough, some bros more buff, but you, my dude, are enough. So let's post up and chill for a few, answer a phone call or two. At Hug Your Bros, that's what we do. Oh, what up? Thanks, Caleb. Alright, later, dude. Sick. Oh, this is a sick-ass cardigan. Thank you, dude. So whether you're crushing it or feeling not so legit, let it all go and hug your bro. Snap.
Hello, check, testing 1, 2. Hey,
What up?
audio check.
What up? Sibilance. What up?
We getting any
Too loud now. Now I'm
Alright.
hearing too loud.
All right, we getting any
Too much bass.
Can we get can anybody confirm that we got audio?
Chat. Where we at? We gotta be. Do we have comms?
Do we have comms? Are we good?
Do we have eyes on the prize?
All right, we're good.
I'm getting a what up. Good.
All right, you want to take it from the top?
Yeah, this is great because we can take it from the top. Yeah, we might as well. Let's run it back.
As I was just saying, wrong one. As I was just saying, if I'm not too careful, Nelson's going to take my job. And,
yes.
I think that was me not being too careful.
And what I was saying, yeah, exactly. And now I'm happy that we had this error because now I get to threaten you and say, yeah, because I love threatening people. It's one of my favorite things. Every time I go into a Chipotle to order, I threaten them. I say, put barbacoa in a cup, a water cup. That's my order. Put the meat in a cup, nothing else. And I say, if this isn't piping hot, extra hot, I'm going to upper deck your toilet. That's what I tell every Chipotle I've been. I'm not allowed in a lot of Chipotles. I actually have to drive. We're in Los Angeles County. I actually have to drive to Ventura County to go to the famous eatery.
Is that the last one that's allowed you into there?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Banned entirely in the county. But I was saying I like to threaten Caleb by saying Nelson would replace you because he did such a great job. Then we were saying our topic today is getting out of a rut. And that was a behavior for me. Going to Chipotle's, threatening the entire staff there, saying I was going to upper deck their toilets and demanding barbacoa in a cup, which isn't the typical container that they serve it in. But I say I would like to drink it I like to eat it with a straw because I'm a madman, blah, blah. I would do that. I stopped that behavior. I'll get into how. We'll get into some tools, how you guys can get into ruts. In the meantime, call in right here. Hit that QR code. You can also write in, chat, also stay active. We want to use you guys today. We want to, we might have some topics coming up where we want to bounce some ideas off the chat. See, use that hive mind, our group mind, really to help each other out here. And speaking of Nelson, he went on a rave and I haven't seen him since. He went to a rave. Yeah.
That's true. I haven't seen him this week since I've been back in the office.
He might have been bitten by a vampire. I think vampires like raves. It's at least what I've learned by watching Blade. I take that all. I take all my vampire lore from Blade, not from Twilight. Sorry, I don't know about this diamond skin stuff. Although I do love my boy Edward Cullen. I take all my lore from Blade, so I know that vampires like raves. They like techno, and Nelson could be one now. I did read that raving and ravers are the happiest people on earth. And I went to a rave with Friday Beers. Me and Billy back in the day, we went to one in Columbus, Ohio. Maybe the only good reason to go to Columbus. Zing, take that, slam. And they said ravers are the happiest people. And I believe it. Dude, I was talking to them because that's when I was doing that Let's Meet People for Friday Beers and just talking to people, hanging out. What do you love about raving? Dude, probably the most accepting people in the world.
Ravers?
Yeah, great vibe. Great vibes. So sick. So besides my Chipotle story, I want to lead each episode of Hug Your Bros with a bit of personal vulnerability.
Mm-hmm. None of that was personal vulnerability.
No. What I do in Chipotle, that's a public space, and I'll do it, and I'll do it again.
Beautiful.
And honestly, if we don't get up to 60 callers, I'm going to upper deck every toilet in Friday Beers. When I was a younger man, I was in high school, I was in a rut, and I found that oftentimes what I find with when one is in a rut, it has to do with identity. How are you seeing yourself? Maybe you see yourself in a way that's inaccurate. Maybe you think you're cool. Maybe you think you're not cool enough. Me, I was under the impression that I was cool. Being a lanky white dude, I look like Joel Osteen, if he skateboarded. That's how I look. And when I was in high school, I thought, hey, I'm going to be a rap superstar. Saw the movie 8 Mile. I don't know if you've ever seen that Eminem movie, Marshall Mathers. And I thought to myself, that's me, man. I live in Detroit and I work a factory job. So I started running around with a bunch of dudes, started our own rap band called Klazazit. And we had exactly 0 shows and 0 live performances and most likely 0 talent. A few of us had, okay. Our leader was a dude named Lunchbox. Never asked him why. He didn't take any people's lunchboxes. He never carried a lunchbox. In fact, I never even saw this guy eat lunch. But that was my name was Skinny Weenie. I completely made that up. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to think of a cool name. I didn't even have a cool name because all we would do is instead of riding on buses to factory jobs in Detroit, we were riding in carpool in the back of like BMW 7 Series on our way to Catholic school. But we would still write our lyrics sideways on notepads.
Yeah.
That our nannies bought us. Granted to say there was a lack of authenticity. We would go to parties. We would want to beat up dads. We said, hey man, we need to brand ourselves. We got to be the dudes who beat up dads. So think about that. Because we did hear about a real gang over at Dana Hills where I grew up, where one of the dudes, it was this like gang called the Lords or whatever. And these dudes, like the dad came home to shut down the party and the dudes beat up the dad and they still partied. And I just remember being like, dude, who was at that party? And like the dad got beat up and then they were like, cool, so let's still keep hanging out.
Wait, what parties you going to where like dads are just hanging out?
That's true too. I guess like this dude came home, but yeah, exactly. But as
you beating up like the owner of the house that you're going to?
As me and my wannabe cool rap group in high school. Yeah, where are we gonna go? Hey, dude, are you throwing a party this weekend? Your parents aren't home? Damn, can't be there. Will you throw a party with your parents home? Really want to beat up your dad.
Dude, you know what would be sick if like we all brought our parents to the party tonight?
Yeah, that's great. Dude, hey, when's your dad's birthday? I want to get him something.
Do like a father-daughter dance sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, you guys going to Tony Romo's rib company for dinner? Oh, cool, dude. I'm going to sock your dad in the ribs when I see him. Yeah, and then I'm going to write a song about it in the back of an Alpina BMW while my nanny drives. It's going to be awesome. So, needless to say, I was writing my lyrics, and luckily as the art or lack thereof was pouring out of me, I realized, this isn't me, man. These dudes aren't my buddies. The lyrics I'm writing aren't cool. I had one rhyme, and it was, "Hey, want to have it made in the shade, drink lemonade." And I really didn't get anywhere after that. Made in the shade, drink lemonade. Beat up your dad, give him a Band-Aid.
That's two.
That's two. So maybe honestly, it took me this long to progress. And I said, you know what, man, I need new friends. So, and that's fine. I wasn't tough enough to hang out with those guys. Anyways, they kind of, I was probably glomming onto them in any way. And it was a easy separation. And they went on to become Imagine Dragons. So, you now know them as Imagine Dragons. But in any case,
they're like, hey, what if we stop the beating
Yeah.
up dad shtick?
and I was like, dude, banging the gong was my idea. That was my thing. That was going to be me. I would just draw gongs sideways on my notebook paper. But I was like, man, I need to surround myself with better dudes. Then I did. I met my bros, and now we're in a fantasy league today, and it was all the best. So, needless to say, one tool, at least for myself, and it took a little bit of an awakening and a bit of an identity and some soul searching and some introspection, which luckily came out sideways on notepad paper in carpool. And I surrounded myself with better dudes, and that helped me get out of my rut because everyone's heard this. You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with most. So I started hanging out with buddies from my basketball team more. My brothers were cool. I had older brothers. I'd hang out with their friends. Some of these guys are cool, some aren't, and just kind of matured and grew up a little bit and ended up meeting my buddies through sports and hobbies and stuff like that. So that helped. I won't get into those specifics, but needless to say, see what crowd you're with. If you're in a rut, maybe it's who you're trying to fit in with and you're not quite being yourself, because if you're in a rut, you're realizing it. So that's step 1, which is great. Now we got to get out of it.
I personally, I think I was in like an opposite situation as you. And I'll share something real quick. We do have a caller waiting. So Rudy, just sit tight.
Oh, hell yeah, Rudy.
You.
What up?
See, my problem wasn't that I was with the wrong people. It's that I was with the right people and I wasn't growing. I wasn't having personal development, after college, moved back home with the parents, it's hard to find a job, graduated with a film degree, and then the writers all went on strike.
Great. So perfect timing. Yes.
Awesome to be graduated with a film degree.
Great.
I was sitting in Georgia, living at home for a year. So I had the best placement around me. My parents taking care of me.
Dude, you were in heaven, bro.
All my friends from high school and college, going out with them. But it was I was too comfortable in that space and I wasn't growing. So then one day, my recommendation to everybody, should move across the country with no plan.
Dude, this is great.
Find an apartment and get out of that situation to really put yourself in a corner and, allow yourself to live and find out who you are.
I love this. And this is good too. And just to sort of put a slight addendum, I love that that's brave. Living across the country, you took a chance, you took a gamble on yourself, but you strategized. You moved to a city with entertainment.
Yeah.
You have
Waited for the strikes to settle.
Yes. Waited for that to settle, timed it, did a little strategizing. So it wasn't just flying by the seat of your pants. We're going to Santa Fe in the middle of the night, baby. Grab on, I'm going to need you to smoke my cig for me and keep it, because there's going to be wind in our hair and I'm going to take a puff every time we stop and let's keep going. Oh, that sounds cool. And that's a movie. Awesome. And I want to cast you in that. I want to cast Emile Hirsch as playing you in that. That's cool. But have your plan and then make your move. I like that. And that's great too. Yeah. Lack of growth, being too comfortable. It's an interesting angle. Maybe we'll get some of that. So I like that. Take a risk.
Yeah. I think complacency is the worst enemy you can have.
Dude, totally.
Too comfortable. You kind of lose sight of what are you doing here? You can get way too caught up in your own routine in a bad way. Routines are good, but sometimes if you're too comfortable in that, it can be the death of your ambition.
Big time, dude. And it's sort of like how they say weed isn't habit forming, but it is. It forms habits. Maybe you don't have to have weed all the time, although probably you do. Honestly, I know people who are fucking for sure can't operate without it. But what the cycle you get into of being oh man, I'm gonna go home. I'll probably just Postmates, light a joint. Kind of want to watch that game, which is cool and good. And you got to have those nights, but that's what you're doing all the time.
Yeah.
You're not being your best you. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. Yeah. Complacency can be your worst enemy sometimes,
You never want to post shop in complacent city. That's for sure.
Hey, man, dude.
All right, you want to get into our first caller?
Rudy, let's go. Let's dial him up.
Now I want to say, Rudy, welcome to the show. But you
Oh!
look a lot like a guy we had on named Cody.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no, his name is Cole. It's Cole. Yeah, it's me.
Cole,
It's
Cole,
me.
yeah.
How you going?
Welcome.
No, it's the same guy. My nickname's Rudy, so everybody calls me Rudy, and that's just kind of
Dude,
what I did.
repeat caller. We love that.
Yeah, no. So honestly, kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying earlier about moving halfway across the country. I just moved to my first ever big city. I moved to Cincinnati. About a week and some change ago, almost 2 weeks ago now. Just graduated college. And I feel like my my issue last time was kind of like trying to how be in the moment and be present with a lot of my friends. And here I guess it's kind of like just trying to figure out where to like go from here now that I'm in the professional world.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm in classes all day. And or I'm playing rugby and I can go out with people like that. I mean I am playing rugby here, but
Right.
it's not like I have like a built-in um, group of people here to really connect with and be around. Um, so
You got a great look. I would just say you could probably go. You got a look of like a dude who could be a little league ump. You look like you could go and like volunteer, and I would trust you making decisions like that. I could feel like you could be like, you could ref a game easily, dude. I feel like you could get involved in sports in the community, easily handle something like that. Is
yeah,
that kind of what you're looking to do? Like just find like a social sort of
yeah, kind of like
routine?
like a social routine because like I have gone out with some people at my office, but I don't know how much of like a permanent basis that's going to be, and I don't know how much I want to rely on my professional life to be my social life. Because it's great to separate the two. I have a feeling.
Dude, I'm
And
gonna
it's
steal
not
this
like
from
yeah.
I'm going to steal this idea from Caleb. Caleb said to someone on another stream that there's a run club.
Mm,
Dude, I was on Sunset Boulevard the other day, hanging out, shooting with some buddies, and filming, should say.
yeah.
And yeah, just hanging out, just carrying, just open carry, hanging around. You know what I mean? Just out there with my Magnum. But
Classic California stuff.
yeah, dude, yeah, classic. But dude, the whole run club ended at this little bar because there's this really good pizza spot that we were at. And it ended at this bar and people were like running in and jogging in. And then people were hanging out and they had like jungle juice there. The bar was set up. People were having beers, hanging out. And I'm like, dude, the weather's nice in Cincinnati right now. You get in on that run club when the weather's nice. Then, like Caleb said, there's going to be some people there who are the slower runners. You kind of find your friends naturally in that. I think
Yeah.
that's the move. Although you look like a front runner, you look like you have speed, dude.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And then I guess another thing would be is like I'm having like slight girl issues. It's not like um it's not so I've known this girl here for around like 2-ish years, and I've met her before when I went to school out in northern Kentucky a while ago, and it feels like we're in very different places, but from where we used to talk, it feels like we used to be on the same page. And it's like now that I'm here, I feel like she's kind of getting ready to leave, and it's kind of like in my head, I know I can't change that, but it's like it's kind of hard for me to let go of like the possibility or wanting the possibility of there's something to happen, but it's
Mm.
almost feels like it's not going to, and it's kind of hard for me to like view her in any other light than that. So um
It's
I don't
tough,
know.
man, because you guys are doing because it's distance right now, right?
Mm,
And like, I always think about just pushing it forward and trusting your gut. You know what I mean? Like you
mm,
get that feeling, and sometimes you can look at relationships in terms of wins and losses, or guys we say, "Ooh, the one that got away," right?
yeah,
Um, and sure, that can happen, but the one that gets away goes on, and hopefully lives a nice, happy life. But thing is, you got to just control what you can, and you're in a new city, and
yeah,
you know, you end things on good terms, or maybe you have to have an official talk, or you feel it out. You have that honest convo, like, hey,
yeah,
you kind of just say what you said. Hey, I like you. I kind of feel like maybe we're drifting apart. We're not as emotionally connected as we used to be. My wife loves using the phrase emotional connection, dude. Dude, if you as a dude if you're wearing that outfit that you're wearing now, dude, jacked, good tank top, and you say the phrase, I don't feel emotionally connected, dude, people are going to be engaged. They're going to be listening to what you have to say, dude.
Yeah.
So you hit them with that, dude. She's going to be listening. And then you go and you say, I want to be emotionally dialed in with you, but maybe, we're not right now. Do you think even though we're doing this distance thing, there's a chance for us? I'm willing to work at it if you are. See what she says. And if not, it's not an L. It's not an L. It's tough because you go, dang, we lost that. I lost that. I do the same thing. I would do the same thing, but with emotions and relationships, there's no wins and losses,
I think the definitely having that conversation, because you will forever be kicking yourself in the ass if you don't have that, and it's always the what if. But if you're able to get that closure, it might not be necessarily what you want out of it, but you at least know that, and it could work out the way you do want it to happen. So it's but if you don't have that conversation, it's gonna forever be the shower thought in your head of what how could that have gone,
Yes. And you want your shower thoughts to be cool stuff, like women holding high-powered rifles or crossbows, or drenched in albino snakes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be, damn, man, I should have had that convo 3 years later, and now you meet this girl and she's cool, but what about the other one? No, you want a nice, clean slate one way or the other. So I think that's the move, dude. Open, honest communication, dude.
Yeah. I wanted to say one more thing before I left. Last time I kind of touched on a little bit of my insecurity with being bald, but being in a professional environment, not really wearing a lot of hats, and I guess these last 2 weeks with not really wearing it, I haven't really felt the need to hide the fact that I'm bald anymore.
I love that.
So I mean, if you guys are struggling with insecurities, maybe just kind of with the kind of rusty wearing with baggy clothes or whatnot, just try it for 2 weeks or really put yourself into it, and then I mean,
yeah, that's a good piece of advice. Like when you're trying something new, give yourself a timeline. You can give yourself an out. You can't be like, you said you used to wear beanies. That's sick. You go, okay, I'm gonna ditch the beanies for a while and just go out freaking naked dome, ready to rock and roll. Let's go. And if you're comfortable, what helps you get comfortable in your own skin. And maybe for you can do it for 2 weeks. Other people might have a different timeline. Man, I'm gonna do it for 2 hours today, and maybe that's enough. And then you gauge it and scale up. But I think, dude, obviously it's a tale as old as time, and losing hair and that changing is a difficult thing to go through. But I honestly think it's an elite look, dude, and committing to it is good, dude. You've got a good look. Like I said, I like it. I trust it. Like if I wouldn't want my financial advisor to have Harry Styles' hair.
Yo.
Oh, look at that little dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad you showed us that little dude than another little dude.
That's Rose.
But dude, bro, thank you so much, Rudy. You're the freaking man, dude. All the best, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good luck in Cincinnati, dude.
Thank you.
Keep being a beast and have that talk, bro. I think that's what's up.
For sure. All right. Catch y'all. See you.
Thank you,
Catch
Rudy.
you, man.
Best of luck with everything. Dude, that's awesome.
Little gerbil right there, dude.
Oh yeah.
Was that a gerbil or a hamster? What was that?
I think that was a hamster.
Nice.
Dude, I think one other piece of advice I'd give Rudy, I think you said he went to Western Kentucky, but a good way I met new friends out here was finding alumni I went to UGA. So I found I'd go to game day events and I'd find online Georgia alumni, go to watch parties for the football games. And that's an easy way to just meet new people your age and also alumni that could be beneficial for your career. I think that's like an in. And if you went to a school like Western Kentucky, I'm sure you're going to have some alumni. Find them on LinkedIn, find some Facebook groups. It'll be a good spot.
That's great. Do a little legwork, because I mean, it's one of those things where if you're sitting around, you're feeling a rut, you're expecting things to change. Sometimes you got to go out and make that change. And sometimes a small little step can do it. And sometimes it takes a lot of work. Sometimes it takes so much work and you're like, damn it, I'm not seeing any results. And then it happens when you least expect it, just because you're kind of in that, trying different things and opening new opportunities, go to a rave, bro.
I think the other thing is don't force it, because again, moving out here, I met a lot of people, but those aren't going to be your best buds.
Yeah.
Right out the gate. You want to have a big group of friends, just got out of college, or for me, moving from my hometown, but you're not going to have that friend group initially. But I've been out here for a little over a year and I got my squad. I never thought I'd have like guys who I would consider like my best friends in the world that I only met a year ago. And I'm sitting here in a room with one of them right now. What's up?
Let's go. High five. Let's go. Dude, that's what I'm saying. You don't know. You just don't know. You got to be open. There's also weirdos out there. So heads up on that. But I think our boy Rudy can handle himself, dude. I think
Absolutely.
Rudy.
And he's crushing the ball.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
Bro, Rudy could be the DH on any kickball team. Get that guy in there, dude. Do some jujitsu. I'm just saying, I'm fired up on that guy. He's got an elite look, dude. He could dress as a party, a sexy cop. That's his costume, guaranteed. So, yeah, bro. Caleb, I love what you're saying right there. You're there to meet people, and yes, there's pressure on it. It's tough to do that balance when you're networking or hanging out, and networking is inherently lame, but there's a reason people do it. There's a reason these events happen, because it gets you out of the house, gets you somewhere out of your comfort zone a little bit. And yeah, meet a few cards, you follow up with one or two people, boom.
Love it. You want to hop into some mailbag questions?
Down.
All right, mailbag. We still got the caller QR code up, but hold on, let me throw that in the chat real quick.
Right here.
Wait, hold on.
Right here.
Let me throw that in the chat just so people can scan that as well. Because I think sometimes it's hard to also like scan it from your phone if you're watching on your phone.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know how people watch.
Put it in the chat. Smart to put in the chat. It's also right here. Boom. You see me right up here. Also might be a good chance right now to say, hey, as you know, I'm always wearing my merch. Love my Hug Your Bros tee. Living this thing, dude.
He never changes.
No.
The only changes you see is when he comes on the show and puts that cardigan on.
The only changes I have are internal. Everything. This is the outfit I wear all the time. Underwear included.
All right. We got some good mailbag questions. As always, we want to get the callers in, but hey, we'll fill time.
It's all right,
We're
baby.
good. You guys come on in whenever you're ready. So we reached out to some people, or we put a story post up on the Instagram. Feel free to DM us. With any feelings or thoughts you have, and we'll talk about it. This one I found, I think could be a good one if you want to throw it to the chat. We want to get them involved as well.
I love it, baby. Little text the thread, dude. You got to have your crew of trusted bros you can reach out to, and we want to build a community here at Hug Your Bros. So I love that.
All right, we got Alex waiting in the queue. Alex, we'll get right to you after we answer this question.
Peace.
We want to shout out the Instagram team.
Peace.
Let's see. All right, let's see if we can read that. Might have to take the QR code down for a second.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
All right. Work has been a pain in my ass. I feel like I don't have free time. At the office super late, and the weekends seem to go by too fast to enjoy, and then I'm back in the office on Monday. Can't really stop working the long hours because I'll lose my chance at a promotion. Any advice?
He's in the grind. You're in the middle of the grind. I think first and foremost, I would stay the course, stay committed. Don't do any big changes would be my advice here. Stay the course. And in the meantime, so you're feeling like you're in a quote unquote rut cycle of just work, sleep, eat, rinse, repeat. You need a little joy. You need a little excitement. I think good boosts of doing that are just little dubs. Focus on the little wins, dude. When you get your morning coffee and you roll in there and the person in front of you isn't a dumb idiot and gets their order right, that's a win. That's a nice day. You're having a nice day. That's all it takes for me sometimes to have a nice day. If I'm merging lanes while driving and someone lets me in, huge. I feel like I'm a part of humanity. I'm part of something greater than myself. That's what that's my purpose on earth has been fulfilled. I'm communicating with a stranger, doing 40 miles per hour on the freeway. That's pretty exciting. That's so exciting. I broke the microphone. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I think we're still good. But
yeah, I think we're good.
I think it's those little dubs, man. Those little things like taking the time. And I know you're tired from a work week, but savoring that one beer with your buddy if you go out for a drink on Friday. You know, use Sunday to catch up and just really have a day where you're not doing anything, not feeling stressed, I think is huge. And breaking out of that idea of like every week timetable, like
Mm-hmm.
zoom out, look at the month and go, this second weekend of the month, I'm just resting me. Third weekend of the month, I'll do something with friends or whatever. Uh, fourth weekend or first is completely open. Keep that as your variable. And the other one, maybe you have to work or whatever it is. And then, because sometimes you go too macro, zoom into the micro moments and get focus on those little dubs, dude. Did they order in at work? You know what I mean? Did they get you guys? Here in LA, we've got we've got a place called Home State from LA, dank little tacos. Sometimes they have those in the office on Friday. That's huge, dude. Is it someone's birthday? Did you get a free piece of cake? Nice. Maybe you don't eat cake. Maybe you consider yourself an elite and you take care of your rig and you go like this. I'm not having that cake. I got to work out after this. And you have the gift of looking down on someone for a moment. That's nice as long as you internalize it and just keep it to yourself. Great. So just have those little dubs and stay focused on the long-term goal, because that is what you're doing actually is, funny enough, a way to get out of a cycle is being goal-oriented and knowing there's light at the end of the tunnel.
We got a lot of good shout outs from the chat.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
This one, I think, very true for a lot of people. A lot of times I feel like my weekends go by in an instant. I realize I spend a lot of my time on the phone.
Oh,
I agree with that. And
huge.
Strider, we've talked about this before. Sometimes you think that the release is like, oh, I need a break, and you go on your phone, and that can only stress you out more.
Yes.
And then you sit, you're home for an hour and you're like, I haven't like existed as a human being.
Correct.
And I think a good follow-up to that is touching grass.
Amen. Get barefoot.
Get out in nature.
Yeah, bro. Get out in some nature. There's a rule, and I'm going to mess up these numbers, but it's like a 5-3-20 rule where there's like 5 days a year you should be completely in nature, like camping or like otherwise like a vacation, whatever that is for you, like out in nature. And then like for like 3 hours a week, you should be doing something relatively in nature, like a walk through a park, and then like 20 minutes a day, just go out, like at least being outside or some shit like that. Like that's not the breakdown. There's probably a better, more scientific breakdown, but it's like just finding time to ground is a great call.
I've been out here for over a year. Everyone's talking about like the great hikes in LA, and recently went on like my first actual, like drove an hour to go on a hike.
Yeah.
Spent like half a day there with my buddy. One of the best days I've ever had in LA. And so you just got to force yourself to do it. Sometimes it's tough. Like, oh, I don't want to drive an hour when I could just stay at home. That is like the best gift to yourself you could ever get.
It's so true, dude. A nice hike when the weather's right. We're lucky in LA because we can do that like year round. But right now, the weather's good pretty much everywhere. It's warm, but you can go out. It's not like you're going to freeze your ass off. Bring some water, hydrate, get some of that vitamin D, dude. It's so dank.
I also like this from Perry Fan. He's been active right here. Find a project at home, improvement wise or just fun wise, something going on at home that you can see progress in.
I think that's a great move, dude. My brother-in-law does Gundam wing model building. It's awesome. He puts on a mask, dude.
Dude, that's sick.
Looks like I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, are you gonna go rob a bank? He's like, no, I'm gonna go relax. I'm like, whoa. Because he's got like, the paints are toxic, I guess, so he's got to wear the right type of mask. And then they're sick, and then he puts them up as decor in his office. Rusty from Friday Beers does Legos.
Yeah, nothing's better than like getting home and you got like half a Lego set built.
Oh yeah,
dude. You know what? During the fires, fires were horrible out here.
Horrendous.
Like full stress. But like it was shortly after Christmas, and I had gotten like 3 new Lego sets. Shout out to my brother Luke.
Hell yeah,
the Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe Lego.
Oh,
and
Peter Parker.
I spent like all 3 days. I was like just waiting for like an evacuation call, just building Legos and watching like the worst news I've ever seen.
Dude, exactly, bro.
But it was awesome. Just like having that to do at home when there's nothing to do, despite the stress of the world around me. It's literally outside my door, there was fire.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was so gnarly, dude. I'm grateful your brother did that for you. And you had something to take your mind off of it and use your hands. Dude, we're built to use our hands. You know what I mean? We're built, and not just in the drill factory. I'm talking about doing something tangible. Nothing feels better. And I'm like the least handy guy you've ever met. Like IKEA, I struggle building the furniture, but when my wife and I get a new piece of furniture or a dresser and we build it together,
I
dude, that's why I
love
love my credenza so much. We built that thing, dude. I look at it and I go, yeah, I followed the directions. I used an Allen wrench, but it's nice.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
All right. Well, that was a great thread,
dude, the thread came up
It
huge.
was awesome.
Puzzles, Legos, fun activities, phone down in nature. Legos outside.
Building Legos outside.
Yeah.
That's it. This is something that I don't know if we could endorse, but start cracking that hog.
Yeah, you gotta clear the hopper.
There's a little self-love.
You gotta get in there. You gotta clear the hopper. Don't watch anything too dark. Maybe you just. I like to go to westelm.com. I like to look at Cherry Oak finished credenzas. I like to imagine me and my wife lovingly laying upon that. Me on my back, her in full warrior Xenia princess garb, having her way. So that's what I like. What do you like?
All right. Should we let Alex in? He's been patiently waiting.
Alex, what up? Sorry, yeah.
Hey, how's
Alex,
it going?
how we doing?
Good, man. How are you,
Doing
dude?
good.
Thanks for calling in. What do you got?
Yeah, no, dude, yeah, big fan of the show. Been watching a couple of the streams. So I kind of have like a similar problem. The first guy that called in, I didn't catch his name, but I really fucked with the look.
Rudy.
Oh, Rudy, yeah, Rudy. I loved your look, man. It was
Great look. Elite.
yeah. So I actually just graduated college too. I moved to a new city. I'm in Omaha now.
Nice.
And yeah, well, it's a lot. I'm from Colorado originally, and so definitely different like sort of vibe out here. I think definitely less stuff to do, and I definitely feel like I've been in the rut where like I go to work and I come home and I don't know anybody out here either. So it's been like a whole. I mean, it's just different. I miss all my buddies back home, and I don't know. Like I find myself like on the weekends just not doing much after work, not doing much. So I don't know. I just any advice would be. I don't know.
think, dude, I've been there, bro. It's tough because you're extrovert. You probably recharge being around people, so you want to do something where you're around people. Denver is a great city for that. You got tons of breweries. You got tons of outdoor activities. Nebraska, it's like, I don't know. Maybe there's a rodeo, dude. It could be sick that if it's a rodeo.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah.
I know that's event based, and maybe it's not something you can do every weekend, but it's like it's tough to like be on the prowl for friends. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you got country western dancing. That's so fun, dude. Line dancing is a great
Dude,
move.
yeah, that
I've
would
done
be
that.
fun.
Dude, for my brother's birthday, we went to like a country western bar and did line dancing. The girls are always fun. They always want to talk. There's always an instructor teaching you the electric slide. Anyone can pick it up. Who they got? As long as you don't have two left feet, you can do it. I think that's a great move, dude. Like
Apparently, there's a great zoo.
Oh
there's a
yeah,
good
I
zoo.
went to the zoo. Yeah, I had a friend
nice.
fly out. We went to the zoo. But yeah, it was just like it was packed. It was hot too. It's hot here. Humidity
go to
is
the
like something
zoo.
else.
Oh yeah, that freaking humidity, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, do you work in a job where you're with people a lot, or do you work from?
Yeah. So I'm in the office every day. Like my coworkers are great. There's just I don't really get the vibe that they hang out outside of work.
Yeah.
And when you're there like 5 days a week, like you don't get a lot of other opportunities to go out and meet other people. Cause like I'm so used to being in classes, like different events, stuff like that. Um, and yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like weird coming home from work and like I used to live with my best friends and now I live alone and it's like that's been a big change too. But
Do you know what is never a bad idea is you make a little bit of coin and there's always some cool people and there's always generally some babes. But when I worked at a hotel, like the banquets people, you don't work very often. And I know I'm telling you, you should get a second job, right? That sounds like fun.
I actually thought about doing that. Yeah.
It's like part-time. And dude, I do valet. There's like some valets that just work like the party shifts when I work. And it's like, oh, like weddings or corporate events or whatever it is. Dude, you're gonna meet dudes. Like if you go valet somewhere, you're gonna meet some dudes who, some of them might be some, schmoles or whatever. And they're like,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, dude, we like to flip cars together. And like, or, you know, we also deal weed. It's like there's dispensaries. Although actually I don't know in Nebraska, maybe it's not legal there. But you'll meet dudes kind of doing that. For a second, I was like, dude, every dude that retires when they're 60, I'm like, go work at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
If you're a good looking 60-year-old dude, get yourself some Viagra, work at Trader Joe's. You're probably gonna pull more than you have in your life.
You're unstoppable there.
You're a good looking guy, dude. You're at valet, dude. I've never had this, but I've seen valets get numbers from ladies while they're at work. I've seen,
Damn, nice.
you know, it's inherently social. It is a bit of a grind, you know, depending where you're at, but I'm sure Omaha has a nice hotel or they have a event space they need help at. You'll probably meet some people there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know how much you're into music, but I think going to see like live shows, not necessarily like concerts, but just like find like the local bar that has live music. Cause that way you're not like going by yourself to a bar. Cause that can be kind of weird, you know, but
yeah, I tried that once.
Like,
it was a weird, yeah.
I did that when I moved out here and it's just like kind of being the loner at the bar is not.
Yeah.
But if you're going to see music, there's an event there. You can get into the music and then naturally you're going to find people if it's music you like that are into the same things that you are.
And totally. You know what? Big horse culture out there, dude. You go take horseback riding lessons, dude. You get into some hobby, dude. Maybe like just become a dude. You know, you shouldn't maybe ride a motorcycle. It's not safe, but you go to car shows. Dudes love talking about their cars. You're meeting someone, cars and coffee. There's like little events like that just make it kind of easy to socialize during the day, on the weekend, get out of the house. Honestly, dude, you know, maybe you join you look like a pretty fit guy. You join a Muay Thai or a kickboxing class.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting exercise and staying jacked. That's sick. So,
no, that's a good. I like that one. My buddy, he started doing that last year and he loved it, and he met a lot of good guys. I like.
And then there's dudes who love watching the fights. Like I'm here now, it's Saturday night. Like, do you watching the fights? I'm like, I don't watch the fights. I don't care about it. But there's more and more dudes that like watching the fights. So if you're going to the gym, then you're hanging out watching the fights. You're talking about technique. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Ooh, so, you know, you can do is find like some European football club. Because that is the most diehard fan base.
It's anywhere.
Become a fan and just go to like figure out the bar that has like, you know, Man U games and just go all in.
Great call, especially if you're an early bird, because those games are like early. Get up, get yourself a Guinness, get in on that. Yeah, that's a great call. It's a great call.
Yeah. No, that's No, these are all it's just I don't know.
It's a lot.
Like
just
going out.
Throwing some options at you, but it sounds like you want to lock into your crew, and like you said, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to hopefully meet someone, and then maybe you meet someone and then meet someone through them, and that's about it. I mean, trivia nights are pretty easy. I'm a trivia guy. Whatever, you know, you're looking at.
Do people go to those alone? I've always wondered that, because there's a bar around here that does that. I thought about going, but I think
if you find like the Facebook group for it, there might be teams that are like, hey, we're looking for like, you know, a new member.
Yeah. You go alone. If you go alone and you have a very long smoking pipe, people will respect you.
Oh, you know what you should do? Go alone to a trivia bar or like wherever they're having it, and just cheat the whole time and like win the whole thing.
In the back
and then,
of my phone.
Afterwards, everyone's gonna be like, we need that guy on our team, and then you can choose your friend group.
So I mean, if there's anything noble. If there's any noble reason to cheat, you know what I mean? This is Machiavellian. The ends justify the means. You're not there to win. Maybe whatever it is, the free app or whatever you win, you pay it forward to the second place team. And you say, I cheated, but it's because I want to have this conversation. I'm trying to change for the better. Will you guys help me? Yeah. Or you don't even confess. You just go, yeah, I'm really fucking good.
Where, like, then you have to, they expect you to be the best. And they're like, what the heck, man? You were so good.
Show up the next week. You fuck it up.
Well, you guys are distracted. I'm a lone wolf. Go there and call yourself the lone wolf, dude.
Yeah.
That's your team
in the
name.
Front.
Yeah.
I like that.
The alpha. And you show up and just rip it at trivia. And then
with the long pipe and a trench coat.
Yes.
Yes. That's a good move. That's a really good. Neo from the Matrix, maybe a pure leather outfit with then those Morpheus glasses with no sides.
Yeah.
That's your
buzz the head too. Yeah.
And I don't know if you're willing to commit, but if you shave your head completely bald, it will also be sick.
I have nothing to lose, honestly. So
might as well full commit. No, I'm kidding. You can't get rid of that head of hair, bro.
No,
Don't
that's
ever
Oh
do
no,
that.
good.
yeah,
That's some good locks.
Yeah.
dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. Also, shout out The Wire.
Oh
DVDs in the
yes.
back. Big fan. Big fan.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yo, Alex, I was in Baltimore last week visiting some family, and my brother's father-in-law was a homicide detective in Baltimore.
Oh, that's
So
sick.
he
No
was like,
way.
he was like, yeah, The Wire is like one of the most accurate shows.
Yeah,
ever."
Really?
they got like detectives and some of the like journalists in Baltimore to write the show from what I heard. Like so they were like tried to get it as accurate as possible. But
Yeah, great shout.
Dude,
Get
here's
the
what you
complete
got to
story,
do.
right?
You just got to go to any public setting, dog park, no dog, doesn't matter, and just walk up and be like, "Hey, you guys seen The Wire?"
yeah,
And if someone says no, they're not for you. Someone says yes, all right, sick. Let's
There's
talk.
a 3-hour
Yeah,
conversation waiting
let's talk.
for you.
Yeah,
it really
then you're ready
is.
to hang out. Yeah, exactly, dude. Then your next question is, what season do you want to start on? Bang.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, Alex, before we let you go, what are your thoughts on season 2? That's a controversial one.
Honestly, I liked it. The only season I didn't enjoy was the last season.
That's probably the weakest. That's probably the
Yeah.
weakest. It's still great, I think.
It was still good. I didn't like the arc McNulty went on towards the end there.
Yeah. McNutty.
But I will say season 3 or 4 with the school kids, most depressing thing I've ever watched in my entire life. But
Yeah, I want to
I
say
needed
that's
to share
season
my Wire
4.
opinions somewhere, so I appreciate that this could be
Dude,
the platform I could do it on.
You guys want a full confession right now, dude?
You've never seen it.
I've never even.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a fraud.
you-
I put that Wired box set behind him.
Caleb put
Hoping
Oh,
that
shout
someone
out.
ready to come back.
Caleb did that, dude. I had to come full honest on you right there.
No, I
And
appreciate
that's
it.
what you're going to have to do with your
definitely
trivia
check it out.
team. You're going to have to trick people at first. Relationships have a small tinge of manipulation. You know what I mean? Think about it. You put on a good dress shirt when you go out to dinner on your first date. You're not wearing that all the time around the house. If you did, you'd be a serial killer. So, sometimes you got to lie and just go like, yeah, dude, The Wire's sick. I believe that. I just believe that it's sick because I trust so many people saying it. I'm not going to go around saying Hell on Wheels on AMC is sick, even though it is. I have seen it. It's pretty tight. You guys should check it out.
You'll have to check that one out. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, bro, best of luck, man. Good luck in a new city. It's never easy, but take a few risks, hit up those events, and country line dancing. I'm telling you, man.
Dude, I'm gonna have to check. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, and then get yourself a
Awesome.
good steak. They got good steaks down there. At
They
least.
do. Yeah, they do. I went to a steakhouse when my parents were here. It was a good time. But yeah,
That's the move.
Dude, call back in. Keep us updated.
Yeah, let us know, dude.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Good, dude.
Yo, we got $2 from Perry Fan 1996.
Wait, where are these people calling from?
We got $2 from Perry Fan 1996. That's right, Strider.
Wait. Chat gave dollars?
Yeah.
Dude, thank you. I didn't even know you could do that.
Neither did I, but apparently
Wait, you can give dollars? Thank you, dude. Let's
Hey.
go.
And according to the contract Strider and I signed, we split everything 50-50.
Yes.
So that's $1 to both of us.
Yes, that's $1. That's $1 that will go to Caleb's paintball.
We will not be telling our
We'll
bosses
buy-
about this.
No, they'll never.
They
They'll
don't watch
never
this.
know. They don't watch us. They will never know.
You think one of the 21 people right now is Jacob Selzer? Absolutely not.
No.
We're keeping all
Stelzer,
two. Of
we
those
love you.
dollars.
We love you. But no, he's not. Right now, he's in a meeting.
Of course. Thank you, Perry Fan 1996. That is tremendous, and it's why we do it. Well, we don't do it for the money, but we do it for people like you.
Also, what is Perry?
Perry is like a name.
Perry Thrust. is
Perry
doing
the
fencing.
platypus
Mm.
might be a little too young for you, but
Yeah.
back in my day, there was a little show called Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, I heard.
and
Yeah.
They had you've heard.
Yeah.
Currently having a revival series.
Oh, wait, they're characters from The Wire?
No.
Yeah.
It's almost at the Wire level. But yeah, they have a character named Perry the Platypus, so maybe he's just a huge fan.
That could be it.
Shredder, I got a good question from the chat.
What up, chat?
Not too dissimilar from what we've been talking about, but I think it's a little more specific. This person asks, what advice would you give to an 18-year-old moving out of his hometown and going into a big city? So specifically, we've got a lot of post-college grad, but this is like a post-high school grad.
This is young. I mean, dang, it feels maybe you're leaving a situation that is uncomfortable behind you. I would say have your source of income. When I moved to LA for the first time, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with my job? Did I have a couple months rent cushion to explore options. Luckily, I found valet first and just ran with it. I think, hotels always seem to be looking for people at different times. That's just what I come from. So I say that. But if there's an industry you're looking at getting into in a big city, um, man, just make sure you're in a living situation that's safe and affordable, and you have your way to get to and from work, and can build yourself a little cushion in that. And that's it. I mean, that would be number one, dude. Just make sure you can keep up with the bills and survive.
Yeah. I think two pieces of advice I'd give this person is do everything that you want to do, in the sense of like, you're 18 years old. I don't know if you're going to college or you're just moving out there to move out there, but like explore everything. You see like, something, a sign like, hey, come to our comedy show, go to that comedy show,
Yeah.
meet new people. You see some sign that's like, hey, come to our line dancing country saloon rodeo thing, go to that, But the second piece of advice I'd say is like, you will find your thing in your group, but like, don't let that be your only thing. Cause when you're young, it's easy to like I joined a fraternity in college and it was great, but like a lot of people that became their thing, and you want to like be able to have different things, and like, you got a lot of years ahead of you to just like explore and figure out who you are. Don't like let the first thing that you find is a piece of you be the whole, I guess.
True. And I would say, you know what I would say? Just financially, 18, time is your most valuable asset and the one true currency. When you get your job, you're in the city living's expensive. You're probably going to spend money on dumb stuff, even if it's going out for a cup of coffee, which I do, like a dumb idiot. But open yourself a Roth IRA, Schwab, whatever it is, Fidelity. It's easy, quick internet search. There's a million of them. Probably even do it through your bank. Open it up and start putting some money in there, because you 50 years from now is going to be thanking you. So, and it doesn't even take that much. And just think to yourself, hey man, if I'm going to go out and buy 9 beers this weekend, go out and just buy 6. Okay. And the other 3 you're going to tuck away. It's going to be the best thing you ever did. Also be careful of huge weirdos.
Yep. Big time.
Be careful. Hey,
don't say yes to just anything.
Yeah. Oh, you're moving to a big city. Yeah. You're going to meet a bunch of huge weirdos. So be careful of that. And then also, living in a city forces you, like a big city like New York or even LA, it forces you into an identity. So I think you will find out a lot of stuff about yourself. Like you're going to have like a thing, I don't know whether it's, you wear a leather jacket, or you go to comedy shows, or you do the hard rock band night. I don't know. You kind of do gravitate. So I like what Caleb said of it. Try your stuff out. You'll find it, and just be safe, have fun.
Yeah, dude. That's
call your mom.
Oh, yes.
Unless she's a huge piece of shit and that's why you're leaving your house. I don't know.
Call your parents, call your grandparents if you're lucky to have them.
Yeah.
That is huge. Call your aunts, call your uncles, call your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you should be making a phone call to a friend back home or a family member.
Yep.
Just let them know you're thinking about them.
Yep.
Because, it's easy now, but it gets tough to connect with people.
And you're living in a city and you could get ganked.
Mm-hmm. Whatever he means by that.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means, but does it sound nice?
All right. We got another good question. I love the chat questions. I like this. Zach asks, yo, what up, Strider? I'm in the process of applying to law school. Everything is uncertain. What have you done in times of uncertainty / waiting? Whenever
I'm anxious, dude, I immediately head out to the speedball course and just unload. I'll go out there by myself. And luckily the course I go to also has axe throwing. I throw axes at targets. I like to do what I call Viking mode. I like to but Techno Viking, if you ever saw him, I like to put on a pair of cutoff jean shorts, a tank top, because the place where I go to won't let me in if I was shirtless, although I prefer to be shirtless. And then I drink ale and I throw axes at a wall until it's time for me to call my wife to pick me up. Then she drives me home with a bite to eat. I have a healthy cry, and that's a nice time for me. For you, I would say exercise is probably a good thing. Hit the gym, go in there, exert yourself, get a sweat, because uncertainty and stress builds from inaction. So sometimes you want to know what that immediate action is towards your goal. Sometimes The brain works best just going for a walk,
Mm-hmm.
getting the blood flowing, throwing an axe, crying.
I think going for a walk and with no headphones.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't even bring your phone.
no. Yeah. No distraction.
No
Oh,
distraction.
when I say it, I'm picturing, no, you're raw dogging that.
dogging it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Raw dog king right here. Raw dog captain.
Amen, bro. That's exactly what you're doing. Also, check out Friday Beer Shop. Get your Raw Dog Captain lid. Get your freaking Hug Your Bros lid, dude. Great question, dude. It's tough, man. But I do think, honestly, when I write, when I'm working on like a stand-up bit or whatever, or even like how to craft responses for the mailbag, I'll bump out 10 push-ups.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about like writing as like a means of getting your emotions out, but
that too. Oh, I journal. I journal. Whenever
yeah, I journal too.
We're driving. I'm in LA. I journal in my car. I pull over on the side of the road, and I'll write for a little bit, 5-10 minutes. I'll set a timer and just go,
mm-hmm.
and then get back in traffic.
Strider, you know what's sick? I started a journal when I moved out here, and it was about this thick. Just finished it like a month or two ago, and it's like the coolest thing to have like all of your thoughts compiled in a thing. And that's what I do. If I'm facing uncertainty, waiting, like Zach is asking, I just write about it, you know?
It's amazing.
And sometimes when it's just piling up here, it's bouncing off the walls and it has nowhere to go. When you write it down or just talk to someone about it, you just get it out and you can see it on a page. And it's like, okay, maybe that's not as big of a deal as I thought it was.
Totally. That's why it's so important to read things out loud, say things out loud to yourself.
Yep.
Also, what I'm going to do, because I like to threaten you.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to find your journal and I'm going to upload it to AI so it can have the full human experience.
Oh, that'd be great.
And then there'll be a robot. There'll be a robot based on you.
1 year of my life. That would be funny. It's like, this is
Caleb. LA sick, went on a good hike.
Yeah. Got a job at Friday Beer. Yeah. What up, dude?
Hug your bros.
It's
going to be a robot that's going to go around hugging your bros.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like the coolest.
I've been programmed to hug my bros.
All right, I think we got time for one more chat question.
Love it.
Which I think is a great one to just bookmark how we started.
I'm loving these.
Let me see if I can.
Chat's on fire.
You guys are doing great.
The chat episode.
I like Perry fan going back to the Phineas and Ferb comment.
What up?
Oh, here we go. How can you tell the difference between being burnt out or misaligned when you're in a rut? I think that is a great distinction that we haven't touched on.
That's huge. I think it's tough and it takes a little bit of introspection, but are you still, because you're probably not finding joy in what you set out to do. And this happens a lot in comedy and in stand-up, big time.
Mm-hmm.
I found that if I'm a little burnt out, I'll write down what projects I'm working on, things that I'm saying yes to. And sometimes part of me being burnt out is feeling overwhelmed. And I'll say, okay, what am I doing that I'm really not that passionate about? Maybe it's a favor to a friend, so I'm still down to do it. But what can I cross off my list or just focus on that's going to get me to what's bringing me the most joy for what I do in work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking if you're aligned, it's your goal oriented. For me, luckily it's comedy, so I do have the joy. Maybe alignment joy might not be synonymous with that, but it might be a promotion at work or something. So what are you doing that can streamline that? I think taking an afternoon, maybe even sitting down with a coworker or a friend or a mentor or whoever it is, even your therapist, and just talking it through will help. I think you got to just really almost treat it like an allergy. And what a doctor tells you to do when you have an allergy, you have an itch, you have a rash, I don't know what's coming from. What they'll tell you to do is for 2 weeks, meticulously document starting that day. It's because it's tough to go back, but starting that day, document what you do, what you eat, what clothes you wear, what time you're going to bed, what soap you're using, and it's going to suck. Then you come back and you assess that and you go, oh, what am I doing this? What am I doing that for? So, meticulously document what you catch yourself looking at your phone. So really you're going to have to shine the mirror on yourself. And it sucks, dude. It takes work to create change.
I think it's the tough part about this question is that like you can start out being burnt out, but still like being burnt down is a bad thing. Cause I think if you're like, for me, moved out here wanting to make movies, your goals with comedy, we're both working towards these like goals that are very attainable and like actionable.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're in the middle of it and you realize maybe this isn't what I really want to do.
Yeah.
You've told yourself that's what you want to do for such a long time. And I think there's people out there that, you meet older people out in LA that were doing, movie stuff for 20 years and they're like, maybe I actually don't want to do this anymore. So I think being honest with yourself about maybe you took it as far as you could take it and then you get misaligned, you know?
Yeah. And you have your answer. And I honestly, now that you're saying that and I'm reading this, I think the good, quick answer, and it falls back to that list of meticulous actions and what you're doing. I think a rut are actions and activities and behaviors that are generally negative that you don't want to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think being burnt out, maybe they're actions that you do want to be doing and it does feel right. And you, as an example where it's like, okay, I want to be a professional soccer player.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to the gym and I'm running every day. Okay, but are you doing just short sprints and are you only going heavy? Maybe you need to switch up your exercises. You're still going to, so there's some adjustments to make. Whereas I want to be a professional soccer player. I'm smoking weed and I'm playing FIFA. Okay, sick. You're doing something soccer involved and you're good at FIFA, but you ain't gonna go pro.
Yeah,
that I think it would be like sort of an analogy or of misaligned versus rut. Rut is you're doing the behaviors that aren't your best. You misaligned is you're generally trying your best. You're just you got to steer the ship a little better.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like we said, being burnt out could mean you're doing everything right. You're just your body has a limit.
And it happens to everyone. It's happened to
everyone.
me.
It's happened to me before, even in, working at this job. And sometimes you just got to take a week off.
Yes.
Be honest with yourself. If it's a job thing, your superiors hopefully will understand.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to take some time off. This is for the betterment of the entire company. If I take a week off, even sometimes a weekend getaway can help, but just get away from the thing that you love so that when you come back, it's not as like hostile of an environment to be in.
Totally. And sometimes you get excited when you take a little breather.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great question. Yeah. Thread's on fire.
Dude, Thread was great today. I think that's the show.
Sweet.
I think that's the show.
Little Zen action or what?
Yeah, we can do the moment of Zen. I have noticed that we're getting copyright struck.
Well, then let's not do the moment.
We can do the moment of Zen just without the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
Shire music. I think Howard Shore is the composer on
Maybe
that.
I'll do the I love Howard Shore. Maybe I should just, for some reason I think I always have the Jurassic Park score in my mind where I'm like da 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 da.
I don't know if that was Zen for anybody else, but that was Zen for me.
Yeah, maybe everyone else was like, my ears hurt. But I liked that.
Yeah.
It was a good whistle.
Thank you.